Welcome to Howard Brown Barber and Beauty Institute. Today, we are doing the review for History and Career Opportunities in Aesthetics. Let's begin. Who is responsible for examinations, licensing, and standards? State licensing inspectors, state board members, licensing specialists, esthetician examiners. If you chose B, state board members, you are correct. What did the ancient Egyptians do before other cultures? Cultivate beauty in an extravagant fashion, build magnificent public baths, develop the hair removal practice of threading, develop cosmetic surgery. If you chose A, cultivate beauty in an extravagant fashion, you are correct. What is restoration work? Surgical procedures used to help rebuild bodies after accidents. Another name for cosmetic surgery. The aesthetics specialization associated with mortuary science. Rebuilding hairstyles after a long day. If you chose C, the aesthetics specialization associated with mortuary science, you are correct. Why were the ancient Hebrews able to adopt many skincare and grooming techniques from other cultures? Their level of education was higher than that of other cultures. They were nomadic. They cultivated a sense of what we now call the global community. They were entrepreneurial. If you chose B, they were nomadic, you are correct. What is a dye derived from leaves and shoots of the mignonate tree? Elderberry, henna, camellia, pomegranate. If you chose B, henna, you are correct. What type of magnificent public buildings were the ancient Romans famous for constructing? Smokehouses, baths, swimming pools, massage parlors. If you chose B, baths, you are correct. What is the primary purpose of camouflage makeup? To disguise imperfections such as scars, to create the illusion that someone has darker skin than they do, to shield the skin from the harmful effects of the sun, to make a person stand out in public. If you chose A, to disguise imperfections such as scars, you are correct. Where was the ancient method of hair removal known as threading invented? Vietnam, Korea, China, Japan. If you chose D, Japan, you are correct. What is the ancient Greek word meaning skilled in the use of cosmetics? Cosmeticos, cosmeticoso, cosmatica, cosmotico. If you chose A, cosmeticos, you are correct. Where on their faces did women wear colored makeup during the Middle Ages? Eyes and lips, cheeks and lips, eyes and nose and cheeks. If you chose B, cheeks and lips, you are correct. What does a manufacturer's representative do? Train others on product knowledge and how to sell products, perform safety inspections, sell products to customers, perform aesthetics treatments on clients. If you chose A, train others on product knowledge and how to sell products, you are correct. What was a bare, shaved, or tweezed eyebrow thought to signify during the Renaissance? Greater social standing, greater wealth, greater intelligence, greater fertility. If you chose C, greater intelligence, you are correct. What do mobile estheticians do? Move from station to stations within the salon, own portable equipment and make house or office calls, rotate between several different salons within a chain, work at two or more independently owned salons. If you chose B, own portable equipment and make house or office calls, you are correct. What was true of some elaborate hairstyles during the age of extravagance? They contain fountains with running water. They contain gardens and menageries. They contained elaborate electrical light effects. They featured movement created by the use of hydraulics. If you chose B, they contain gardens and menageries, you are correct. What is product development? Amount of time a product needs to cure before it can be used, practice of getting clients accustomed to certain products, field of creating new products and technologies, practice of building a customer base for a new product. If you chose C, field of creating new products and technologies, you are correct. When did women pinch their cheeks and bite their lips to add color? Age of extravagance, Elizabethan era, Victorian age, Renaissance. If you chose C, Victorian age, you are correct. What career should those with journalistic abilities consider pursuing? State licensing inspector, aesthetics educator, aesthetics writer, state board member. If you chose C, aesthetics writer, you are correct. What is a buyer's responsibility? Demonstrating the use of products to salon managers and estheticians, making secret shopper visits to ensure stores are not overcharging, purchasing products from one store to resell them in another, purchasing products to be sold and used in stores. If you chose D, purchasing products to be sold and used in stores, you are correct. What term refers to the art of manipulating materials on an atomic or molecular scale? Nucleotechnology, mini technology, nanotechnology, microtechnology. If you chose C, nanotechnology, you are correct. Who visits spas and salons to ensure compliance with state regulations? Official state spa technician, state licensing inspector, state cosmetics regulator, official state esthetician. If you chose B, state licensing inspector, you are correct. What did the ancient Egyptians use to dye hair and tattoo skin? Henna, rosemary, animal blood, crushed stone. If you chose A, henna, you are correct. What term refers to a profession that integrates surgical procedures with aesthetic treatments? Cosmetology, beauty technician, medical esthetician, makeup stylist. If you chose C, medical esthetician, you are correct. When did women use bleach to make their hair blonde? Renaissance, Middle Ages, age of the Roman Empire, age of the ancient Greeks. If you chose A, Renaissance, you are correct. What became a common practice in the 20th century? Creating elaborate hairstyles featuring gardens and menageries, creating body art with henna, dyeing the hair blonde with bleach, cosmetic surgery. If you chose D, cosmetic surgery, you are correct. What ancient culture commonly offered physical treatments in public baths? Greek, Hebrew, Japanese, Roman. If you chose D, Roman, you are correct. When did a more relaxed approach to clothing, hair, and makeup become popular? Beginning of the 21st century, middle of the 18th century, end of the 19th century, beginning of the 20th century. If you chose A, beginning of the 21st century, you are correct. What ancient culture used the way a person looked naked as the basis for determining beauty? Greek, Roman, Japanese, Chinese. If you chose A, Greek, you are correct. Who issues requests for compounding pharmacies to mix special preparations? Physicians, nurses, salon managers, manufacturers' representatives. If you chose A, physicians, you are correct. What did the ancient Hebrews use to moisten and protect the skin? Olive and grapeseed oils, henna, rosemary and thyme, mineral water. If you chose A, olive and grapeseed oils, you are correct. What can estheticians do if they obtain a medical license? Dispense drugs in the salon, prescribe medications, formulate and sell medications, perform surgery in the salon. If you chose B, prescribe medications, you are correct. What must you obtain before you become an aesthetics educator? Medical license, master's degree, doctorate degree, certification. If you chose D, certification, you are correct. What type of aesthetics work requires that you join a union? Booth rental, mobile esthetician, manufacturer's representative, film and TV makeup artist. If you chose D, film and TV makeup artist, you are correct. What should you know before deciding to become a cosmetics buyer? You must receive certification before becoming a buyer. You will travel a great deal if you become a buyer. You will spend most of your time alone if you become a buyer. You will rarely interact with new people if you become a buyer. If you chose B, you will travel a great deal if you become a buyer. You are correct. What type of aesthetics What type of aesthetics work requires the supervision of a mortician? Restoration, revivification, reconstitution, recombination. If you chose A, restoration, you are correct. What is a career that requires an outgoing personality for success? Restoration makeup worker, state licensing inspector, aesthetics writer, manufacturer's representative. If you chose D, manufacturer's representative, you are correct. That wraps up this lesson. If you found it helpful, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss what's coming next. Howard Brown, where learning never stops.